Well, hey there. I feel like I recently had like a social media burnout. Different from I think I've had in the past. I think we've all had at a certain point where we decide, okay, that's it. I need to take a break from Facebook. You should just like be on a T-shirt. Like I'm gonna take a break from Facebook, and you deactivate your profile, and you sort of unplug from the machine. There's that moment of like freedom and terror of like, oh my god, I don't have to worry about all this shit anymore. And it's like, oh my god, what am I going to worry about now? I use Facebook a lot, and I don't have anything really like outwardly negative to say about it. I mean, it's great. Like, there's so many good things about it, right? But like, there's so many good things about food. But if you eat too much of it, you're gonna get sick. That's really what I was getting to. Was I had gorged on Facebook, and I think part of it was starting a coaching business and thinking that I needed to be on Facebook all the time, being present and kind of having this like digital storefront. Like, listen, a lot of people do it, right? A lot of people like they make their whole living on based on what they do on Facebook, and like that's great, that's awesome. I'm glad you figured out a way to like make this a useful tool. But I also don't want to dig ditches or drive trucks, fix cell phone towers. Like, these are other jobs that I don't think I'm suited for. Finance, I don't think I'm suited for. Being a midwife, I don't think I'm suited for. So making my living on Facebook is also something I don't think I'm suited for. I think part of that is because I am an empath, and I am, what they say, they call a highly sensitive person, which, the way I put it is you just fucking feel everything, and you feel other people's shit, and you're just like absorbing, you're just this sponge of energy, and so you really have to like pay attention to what you're absorbing and like where there is a lot to absorb. And I think that's what was happening with social media. Was I was just like taking in so much information so fast. And I was reading an article once, and I said once, like it happened a long time ago. I think it was like earlier this week. But I was reading this article about how, being on Facebook, and we all kind of know this, but it's helpful to have this called out. Um, all of those hours that we spend online, just consuming other people's content. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, really, these are all the same. It's a zero sum game. Like, you don't get anything out of that time. You gain a lot of information, but if you think about it, like, how much do you actually remember? Facebook isn't real. Even though we spend a lot of time there, and some people make their livings there on the website, and people are sharing so much content and so much of themselves on it every day, none of it's real. It's not real. None of it's real. All of it is a program. All of it is just I don't believe there's like one button you'd have to push to shut down Facebook forever, but essentially there is. Essentially you just press a button and none of this matters anymore. When I worked in digital advertising, and we would, using social media as ways to promote brands and their messaging, there was so much weight put on, like, well, how many likes and how many shares and how many comments. There was almost a monetary value put on all of that. But the reality is a Facebook like has absolutely no value, monetary or otherwise. It's not real. I mean, sure, you post something. We all do this. I do this. Come on. Like, we all post things on Facebook, and then we are just hawks. We're vultures, just circling what we've posted, circling what we've left, to be found by the rest of our Facebook community, just to see, what the feedback is. I might check Facebook. Let's just be honest and say, like, on a day where I haven't posted something, I might check Facebook like 5 or 10 times. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even counting. Let's be real. It could be more. If I've posted something, I mean, I have checked Facebook. I can't even want to admit it. I don't even want to admit how many times I probably check it. Like, let's say 30 to start. Let's just say that, because I couldn't even tell you. And that, again, it's a zero-sum game. There's nothing it doesn't matter. And I get these like small hits, these small hits of adrenaline, these small boosts of endorphins. Because somebody liked it, somebody else liked it, and then I have to go and reread it and try to imagine that person reading or watching or consuming whatever I've posted, and trying to like relive what compelled them at what point to hit like. Whereas the reality is, I don't know the story. Like, they could just be scrolling through and be like, oh, Colin posted something. Oh, that's nice. Like, done. Like, I am taking these little details and creating this whole myth in my mind, which is then also even more so not real. You know what I mean? Facebook's not real, and creating a story based on what you're seeing on Facebook is even more unrealistic. Now we have just moved into complete and total fantasy world. And yet, even though it's a fantasy world, it still can produce just as much anxiety or stress or pain or confusion or sadness or frustration as a real life situation. So it's kind of like you're having this like god-awful experience and you don't even have the benefit of it being based on anything real. And that's why I got to a point where I was just like, Facebook, what are we doing? And so I don't really know what that's going to mean. You know, and again, I keep saying Facebook, it's like a drinking game. This video is like a drinking game of how many times I've said Facebook. I hope you're not drinking while watching this video, but if you are, who cares? I mean, really, all social media. You know, it's the reason I keep saying Facebook is because I'm not on Twitter. I can't keep up with it. And I'm on Instagram, but there are moms with better accounts than me. I'm just not keeping up. I have like 67 followers. You know, and Snapchat just like gives me shallow breathing. Like I'm just like, I can't, it's too much. Why do they delete themselves automatically? You know what I mean? Like I just can't. Periscope is it just feels like it's like violating me. I think I did Periscope once. And nothing, I've never felt so alone. I just couldn't. I was terrible. I was like talking and I was like, Colin, there's nobody here. Nobody's listening. Stop. Periscope, you are literally talking to an empty room. I guess, so what I've decided my approach is really just a certain sort of curious mindfulness. I am fully aware going in. I'm like, okay, I am stepping into Facebook. I'm stepping into this world. If I can just kind of have that like level of like that space in between me and it, curiosity is great for this kind of stuff because it keeps you objective enough to not get too caught up in things, but it also keeps you engaged and like present because you're open and you're just like, okay, well, let's see what this is. Like curiosity doesn't work if you're not open. The whole point is to gather new information. And so I am kind of looking at it now as like, how can I go onto Facebook and gather a new experience and gather new information? Like to not get caught up in the artificial realities that we're all posting on Facebook, because there's the other thing, right? We all know this, and we all share a version of our realities on Facebook. That's just how it works. Like it is a natural game of telephone. You could never authentically share your reality on Facebook. From the 24 hours of your day, you're still curating some of that into what you share on Facebook and the way that you share it. And that's fine. Like there's nothing wrong with that. Like I'm not here to be holding Caulfield about that. But let's not give more credit than what's due for a representation of life that is incomplete and edited in some way. Now, granted, some people could edit a little bit more than others. We're being manipulated the entire time by each other, by advertisements, by what Facebook feels like it is most important to share. Like we're always being manipulated. And so when your whole reality takes place in a curated experience, then you don't really have as much control over your state of being as you would in real life. So anyway, I hope that was helpful for you, or just give you some things to think about, maybe some inspiration to pay attention to your own social media usage. If you do like this video in real life, feel free to like it here on YouTube, even though I did just say those things are valueless. It's nice to know you like them. Leave a comment, because it's nice to talk about things. Subscribe, because I'm going to post more videos. That's all for now. Have a good one. Bye.